Anthony, Fox News. That is all in a new Fox News poll.
Former President Trump has repeatedly spoken out about the multiple criminal cases against him. He's criticized the judges, the prosecutors, even the pundits involved. Now we know where he stands in the court of public opinion.
Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House, where the former president hopes to return.
53% of people saying they believe he did something illegal, 20% saying something wrong, not illegal, and 24% saying nothing seriously wrong.
Among Republican voters, the Trump lead in the 2024 race is at 37 points ahead of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Vivek Ramaswamy is at 11% in third place, but that's still 42 points back at Trump. Now back to the Trump legal issues. The DA in Georgia overseeing the fourth Trump indictment, accusing him of trying to overturn the state's election results, has proposed a March 4th trial date.
Just weeks before his proposed trial date for that hush money case out of New York. Now remember, Trump was charged with falsifying business records out of Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office. This would also be just weeks after special counsel Jack Smith's proposed trial date of January 2nd for a separate case related to the 2020 election.
Fox's Brooks Sigmund, the federal judge overseeing that elections case in Washington, has been threatened. The Texas woman arrested, also accused of threatening to kill Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. It's up to 111 people dead in the wildfire devastated Maui, where Fox Weather's Robert Ray reports.
And there still is the search for human remains. And on top of that, people, locals are wanting to know how the fire started, trying to figure out exactly, why the sirens didn't go off, why more alerts were not given to people.
More than 1,000 remain unaccounted for. In North Carolina, Republican state lawmakers have overridden Democratic Governor Roy Cooper vetoes. One law bans gender-affirming medical care for minors, another prohibits transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close, or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up?
I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align bloating relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align bloating relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
Former President Trump's legal issues have dominated all the news coverage about the 2024 White House race. When it comes to issues, he sat down with Fox Business's Larry Kudlow for an interview that'll air at 4 p.m. Eastern today. The former president blames the surge in inflation last year on high energy prices and says,
you'll be able to buy an electric car, but you're going to be able to buy every form of car that's made. You've got to have choice, like in school. We want school choice. We want choice for buying cars and washing machines.
1 year after President Biden signed the law no Republicans supported called the Inflation Reduction Act, he celebrated at the White House.
Lawmakers, cabinet officials, and stakeholders gathered here with President Biden to celebrate the first anniversary of the Inflation Reduction Act.
And one of the most significant laws I think has ever been enacted. Taking on the special interest and winning.
The law invests billions in clean energy manufacturing, tax credits, and forces negotiations for lower drug prices. But it has not boosted polling numbers for President Biden on his handling of the economy.
We have always known that the benefits will be delivered over time.
Domestic Policy Council Director Neera Tanden compares the legislation to the Obama-era Affordable Care Act, saying it took a little bit of time for support to build. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The U.S. says it cannot verify what North Korea says the American soldier who fled there last month is saying, claiming Private Travis King suffered discrimination in the Army and is unhappy with American inequality. Now, there's more worry about North Korea.
South Korean intelligence has been looking into what happened when Russia's defense minister met the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, in Pyongyang last month. According to a lawmaker in Seoul, the National Intelligence Service expects those two countries to speed up military cooperation.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising modestly. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Jim Miller. Well, 8 people facing charges after the Illinois State Police conducted an anti-human trafficking operation last week in the Springfield area. Investigation focused on identifying individuals seeking to engage in commercial sex acts with minors. Operation part of a multifaceted approach by ISP aimed at stopping human trafficking in Illinois. West Nile virus present in Vermilion County this year. Health officials say a mosquito batch collected in the Fairmont area has been the first to test positive for the virus this year in Vermilion County. The county health department has collected 38 samples of mosquitoes. That's taken place since May. U.S. Geological Survey reporting that an earthquake hit southeast Illinois. That quake shook the area for about 4 miles southeast of Lawrenceville Monday night. The earthquake had a magnitude of 2.5. The good news, there were no injuries to report. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
And a good morning, ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie J. Brother Johnny's jumped on again today. Good to have Johnny back.
Hey, Stevie. Boy, I like your weather. We may hang around a while.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, you can hang around till about Sunday, I think.
No, come on. It's going to be 90 degrees. It's going to be beautiful. I've been sitting in 98 to 102.
Yeah, that's
Down
pretty
south.
Pretty hot in New Orleans, Louisiana. All right, it's weatherman, meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by the iHotel and Patio Play tonight.
Chip McNeil Quartet, 6 to 8, jazz. You're sitting outside under the umbrellas, little umbrella in your drink maybe, or the $7 glass of wine, the special menu. This is the place to be. Houlihan's at First and St. Mary.
Well, meteorologist Greg Solier, my friend, gorgeous morning across East Central Illinois from the studios in downtown Philo, Illinois, the center of the universe.
Absolutely. And off the door this morning with temperatures generally in the 60s, 63 Willard and Savoy, 64 at Rantoul. Yeah, we've got a couple of showers and thunderstorms over the western end of the state, and then they kind of coalesce into a line running from about that LaSalle, Marseilles, Peru area to the northern suburbs of Chicago. I think that southern area of the line out towards Galesburg, despite a couple of severe reports of hail outside of the Quad Cities, will be weakening and just hit-miss prospects around here as we head through into about the mid-morning to early afternoon hour. Most of this is out of here by noon to 1 o'clock, if anything. The farther south you go, the lesser chances. The farther north you go up towards the Kankakee, maybe about a 30-minute outbreak of a couple of showers and thunderstorms. That's a cool front that'll come our way. Johnny's heat wave weather pattern, by the way, is still in the position. They'll be at 98 at New Orleans today, back up around 100 tomorrow. None of that coming our way, but hotter days ahead. Briefly over the back end of the weekend through mid next week, and then slightly cooler, drier air, but nothing real organized in the rainfall department. 82 the expected high with a partly sunny morning, a partly cloudy afternoon. Let's say roughly from about 10 o'clock this morning till 1 o'clock this afternoon. A couple of showers and thunderstorms will migrate through parts of the area. West winds will be gusty for the afternoon and early on tonight, low down to 56, with diminishing wind and a clear sky. Sunny, a bit cooler, 77 tomorrow, 84 and a sunny, warmer Saturday. Here comes the heat at 93, more humidity in the air Sunday afternoon, about 95-ish Monday, Tuesday, a little backdoor cool front near 90 with a thunderstorm chance late Wednesday, then Thursday, Friday next week. We're settling back into the 80s for high temperatures. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, happy to have John Putner. He's in Milwaukee. Let me tell you about John. He's president of Take Back Action Fund. He was a George W. Bush 2008. By the way, he's the only person in United States history to run a campaign defeating a majority leader in a primary. John Putner, Milwaukee, how are you?
Doing great. Just waiting for Michelle for the debate up here.
Well, that's right. We got the first debate next week, right?
That's in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. My brother Johnny is here. He ran for U.S. Senate. He's been politically active for 30-plus years. And I told him, John, that you had told me last time, because his top concern, I think, appropriately is, the drop boxes and some of the stuff.
Well, just our voting procedure is my top 3 concerns.
So did they not do that anymore? Did they get rid of that in Wisconsin? Have they tightened up the voting laws, or what's the story?
They did tighten them. Did a pretty good job. The drop boxes, there's still going to be some at the voting places, but they aren't going to kind of be like mailboxes sitting all around the state. Right. So much easier to monitor, one per county.
How do you know, though? How can you ever tell? Because in 2006, there was a study done with Jimmy Carter and James Baker that said, hey, you got to watch out for these absentees.
Well, just any kind of mail-in.
Any mail-in.
And focus on minimizing those because they're real hard to track.
How do they verify all that?
Yeah. Well, it can be done. There is one state that actually does a very good job of it, Utah. And they've just got such a good signature match system that, like, if you try to sign the outside of your wife's ballot, the outside envelope, they'll stop it. They'll call you and tell you that's a fraudulent signature. They don't throw you in jail or anything. So that kind of works like voter ID, but that's the one state I've seen do it well.
Okay, well, I can't count on everybody wanting to do it
I'm
well.
not sure about Chicago and Detroit.
Yeah, I'm not sure about any of that, John. So we are really in interesting times. New poll today has Donald Trump 60% of the Republican support. Vivek Ramaswamy has passed Ron DeSantis in a poll. What does that mean? I like Vivek.
Well, I believe it because he's just different. He's young and he's smart. We haven't seen a lot of smart like that, John. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, Vivek has really taken on he's the alternative. I mean, I think at this stage, and obviously Trump is so far ahead that saying the alternative might not mean anything, but yeah, I think for him to, I think the baton eventually needs to be passed. And as an old white guy, I don't mind saying the Republican Party would be helped by perhaps some other, face of the movement. And the way Vivek goes out and talks to youth and says, why do you think America's great? And makes them, because they may have different reasons than someone of my age who thinks of other great things America does. So, I think he's been a real breath of fresh air.
Well, he's the only guy that's also said that he pardons Trump on day one. Nobody else has said that.
Well, he also doesn't. Right. Well, that's the thing. He's talking about issues, and he is pushing back on some of the Democratic policies, but he's not out personally or starting any kind of inter-Republican bashing, which I think is pretty important. But we'll see.
I think you're right. Yeah, the main hit on him as he's risen seems to be, he wasn't really a conservative until recently, to which I say, was Trump that conservative until recently, before 2016? I mean, I think people argue better for things when they didn't always believe them. You have to think through, how did I get to this conservative position? And you're much better articulating it. So I think that's a plus, if he was. I don't know if this is true or if it's just people saying, hey, he just converted late to conservatism, but that's fine with me.
I think, too, when you see some of the extreme left say, you're going to get pushed for the right. That's just how it works, because wait a minute now, what are they doing? That's not what I meant by that. Holy, and then you start moving the other direction when it's not working.
Absolutely.
Vivek kind of reminds me of the heyday of Newt Gingrich. When Newt Gingrich was up there, I thought he was really smart too, and sometimes he could just tie you up. I mean, he just knew how to debate and everything else. This debate next week, I don't think Donald Trump's going to get in there because he's not signing the pledge to support whoever. So that supposedly takes him out of it, even if he wanted to come. Vivek, I can't wait to see him on stage because I think he is really smart.
Wouldn't you want Trump in? Because to me, if you demand this kind of a pledge, he's not going to sign it. So, or is that to keep him out? But I don't know why he wouldn't get in that debate. But I guess he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it, so that's certainly probably the argument that wins out. At the same time, it would be fun for him to last minute come in and say, well, look, I'm so far ahead, obviously I'll be the nominee.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll support the nominee.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a typical Trump dramatic moment to possibly get in right at the end. So I'll hold out hope.
Well, and I got to tell you, too, John, Steve was talking about it's not fair. He can't campaign, and that I agree it's not fair. But I don't think he needs a campaign either. I mean, if you want $2 trillion worth of name exposure, look out for Donald Trump, because whether they like it or not, what's the old adage? There's no such thing as bad political press.
Yeah.
If that's true.
Well, is he the most recognized human on earth, John?
Yes, I think actually Nick Lowry, the editor of National Review, who's not a huge Trump fan, but he said, I don't think DeSantis realized he was running against the greatest showman on earth. I think that sums it up.
Well, you're right. And he didn't appreciate Ron running because he really did help him win his first term at governor in Florida. And it's, a little loyalty still means something to some of us.
Sure.
Well, okay. And here we didn't talk a thing about Georgia. We were going to talk about that, John Putnam. But let me ask you before you leave, what's your take on this thing? I mean, can you absolutely count on Donald Trump running against Joe Biden in 2024?
No, it's still a long way to go, but historically, I mean, this is one of the you haven't seen a lead this big in a primary before. I mean, George W. Bush, we got going real early in 2000, lined up a lot, but I mean, McCain was certainly still much closer to us than anyone is to Trump this year, and that did take a fight. But just because there's so much legal going on, and who knows what direction goes, I won't say sure thing, but it's certainly lined up. There's certainly Democrats who realize Biden's not their best one either, but you got to get the big guys. I think the legal documents are referred to him. You got to get him to say he's not running. So, is that the collision course? Do we have two presidents who are either in their 80s or would be in their 80s during their term running against each other?
What is inside political powers that be think about the chances of them being able to legally stop Trump from running, which I think is the purpose. It's not just the negative press. It's just keep him from being able to run. Is that going to work in any of these states?
Well, I think that's why he just keeps saying, basically I'd run even if I were in jail, in so many words. He may even use those words.
He probably win from jail, I think.
Well, do you get Secret Service if you're in jail? I don't get it. I don't know. I mean, how would that work? This is so unprecedented. None of this has ever happened before. It's just, it's dizzying. I've been on a Ferris wheel before, but not a roundabout. Come on, man. This is crazy time. Any predictions, John?
No. I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out here. I do think Trump still does have a general election problem in that pretty consistently it's over 50% who say I would never, ever back Trump. And about 43% say that about Biden, by the way. So yes. I just always worry about his ceiling a bit. Now, you can win a presidency with less than 50 because we have an electoral college, but that is an awfully low ceiling to sneak out a win. So I think that's his tough part, even as these indictments help make him more sure to be the nominee.
I think that 43% might grow too, John. So I think that's the big thing with Joe. There'll be people who won't vote for either one of them, and that works to Trump's favor.
President of Take Back Action Fund, John Pudner, Pudner. How can people find you, John?
Yeah, it's just takebackaction.org, and always love to add people to our chapter down there. We've had some good meetings.
Well, and you are a younger man living outside the swamp, John. So it's good stuff. Hey, pleasure having you again, sir. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, John.
Good talking to you.
Anytime.
All right, 7:18, quick sports headlines. What a game for the Cubs.
Yes. So we're skipping the Oakland A's over the St. Louis Cardinals 8-0. Cubs win.
Cardinals get smoked by the worst team in baseball.
Did they really?
8-0.
But listen to the end of the Cubs game. Cubs losing 3-1. Bottom of the ninth, 2-on. It's a home run.
That one back.
And the Cubs win 4-3.
Walk off coming back with 3. All right.
Christopher Morel.
4-3 was the final. So they've got a game tomorrow at Wrigley against Kansas City with a 1:20 start over on US 105.9.
Another team they could and should beat. No
well,
question.
I don't know. In baseball, any given game is
that's true.
You can flip a coin.
Wet weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you they've got their Folk and Roots Friday tomorrow from noon to 1 at the Lake House at Crystal Lake Park in Urbana. Great fall programming too. Learn more, urbanaparks.org.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. And the next weather system, a cold front lining up over the northern reaches of the state, and a couple of bands of shower thunderstorm activity will make their way across the area. Generally, best coverages to the north of Champaign, but a little activity here and there for the morning to early afternoon. Slightly cooler, drier sets up for the day tomorrow. Big warm-up slated for the weekend, particularly on Sunday. First half of next week, it's a heat wave weather pattern, but we have found a backdoor cool front. The east temperatures just a wee bit, and ease humidity as well later next week as well. In the meantime, partly sunny, windy, a shower thunderstorm in spots here morning to early afternoon. The high about 82. West winds will take hold for the afternoon, 15 to 25, gusts 30 to 35. Diminishing wind for tonight, clear, cooler 56, mostly sunny tomorrow, cooler, and 77. We'll warm it up to 84 with sunshine on Saturday, 93 as humidity builds on Sunday. Hot, humid weather with mid-90s Monday and Tuesday, up near 90, and maybe a thunderstorm late Wednesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solke.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Walmart shares are up nearly 2% after its better than expected quarter. Sales were up, and it's also raising its forecast for the business. Walmart also says it's in good shape with inventory. But Coach's parent company Tapestry saw a weaker than expected quarter. Its stock is lower. Tapestry is also in the process of buying Capri, Michael Kors' parent company. CVS shares are losing ground. The Wall Street Journal says Blue Shield of California will drop CVS Health's Caremark as its pharmacy benefit manager. It will use Amazon's home drug delivery service and the Mark Cuban Cost Plus drug company. The Journal says the Biden administration is accusing China, Germany, and Canada of selling metals at unfairly low prices, so it plans new tariffs. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
The Fearless and Proud podcast series looks at acts of bravery and strength by women. And in this first season, we look at women who played important roles in the Civil War as soldiers, spies, and battlefield nurses. Listen ad-free on Fox News Podcasts via Apple Podcasts, and Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on Amazon Music.
Well, when you sell your home, you want the highest possible price. You want it done quickly, too. You want buyers lined up. Maybe you need to call the Nate Evans Group because he has experienced realtors on his staff. He himself, a very experienced realtor, and get it done fast for the best price.
I think one of the reasons why he's got such a good grasp of everything, he's partnering with Zillow to bring all kinds of buyers first to create demand for your home, selling your home faster and for more money. Plus, if you need that smooth transition from selling your home to buying your next one, he partners with all kinds of lenders who have creative banking solutions to drastically reduce your down payment and avoid having two mortgages at once. Sound appealing? Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113. Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty can get you that immediate cash offer on your home. There's flexible fees as you sell your home for the most money possible. It's an online search away to Nate Evans Group to start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
You spend half of your life indoors. That's half of your life underneath your roof. Who do you trust to keep you safe and dry underneath it? The name to remember is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors understands the harsh weather conditions that your roof endures because they're a family and locally owned business. From your community, for your community, the doctors who make the house calls, Roof Doctors, at roofdoctors.com or phone 328-7529. Rest easy under a roof that's been treated by Roof Doctors.
Tabbins Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tabbinstowing.com.
Here's what somebody recently said at Pards in Urbana. I was there just a few minutes, and somebody came up and asked if I needed help. And they were incredible, helped me find the size of boot I needed, and then I bought a second pair too. Everything was friendly. Everything was excellent. Visit Pards in Urbana, 206 North Maple, between Main and University in Urbana. It's Pards Western Shop since 1968. Or go online and visit pards.com, pards.com.
Great to talk with Fayon about driving and delivering for Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana bottling.
Come home every day. It pays very, very well, especially for a truck driver. They're very understanding. It's just a great company all around. They're always eager to help. And you off on the weekends. The company in general is just a great company. Very family-oriented. Comes in, check on you, see if you like it. Always asking questions, trying to see if you need any help. Pretty dope.
Sound appealing? Join the Pepsi team. Equal opportunity employer. Visit PepsiColaCU.com.
Have you been to the Long Branch Steakhouse? The Long Branch Steakhouse happens to be a family-owned restaurant in the small town of Gifford that just happens to serve up incredible steaks. We're talking fresh, hand-cut steaks served to perfection. So if your fantasy is to have a great meal in a great family restaurant in a great small community, visit the Long Branch Steakhouse. Oh, and don't forget to ask for the frog dressing, the Brussels sprouts, and the incredible macaroni and cheese. The Long Branch Steakhouse, located in beautiful downtown downtown Gifford. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to play the Cardinal recap because I'm supposed to do that at least once a morning, so I'm going to do that and be a big boy. But Matthew Liberatore, who pitched kind of like Cy Young last week, had to do something very difficult, an encore. Didn't happen, couldn't pitch, wasn't very good, and the Cardinals lose to...
well, think how good the Oakland A's feel.
That's true.
I think it was like their ninth. It had been 9 in a row.
They'd lost 9 in a row on the road, and they've only won 34 games now out of 120 some. That's so good.
Okay. With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and last night the Oakland A's got 4 in the first inning on the way to an 8-0 win, and it was not Matthew Liberatore's night.
No, he really struggled to get the command of his curveball, really could not land the curveball, and then the A's just took advantage of that. The A's, who had not hit well in the series, pounded the baseball last night, and Liberatore drops to 2-5. Cardinals couldn't get anything going, John, offensively either.
With the bullpen used so much early in the series, Casey Lawrence made his Cardinal debut. He pitched the rest of the ball game, and he had his ups and downs, but he saved the bullpen.
Only gave up a couple of runs. He finished the game, so he did good work.
And the Cardinals will play the Mets, and it's going to be a former Cardinal left-hander, Jose Quintana, against Adam Wainwright tonight.
Quintana's been hurt some this year, but he was so good for the Cardinals, and we're all pulling for Adam Wainwright.
We're on the air at 5:20 with the pregame. Ricky will have the lineups at 6:05. I'll bring you the first pitch as the Cardinals open a 4-game series with the Mets tonight at Busch Stadium.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
So Adam Wainwright has had just a wonderful career. He's a family man, has 4 daughters, beautiful wife, strong Christian, does a lot of work for Haiti. He's a great guy. And so to watch him pitch these days has been very painful.
He hasn't got it like he used to?
He can't get anybody out. They pitched him against Colorado and Kansas City, and he couldn't get anybody out. So it's very sad to watch, and yet they're trying to get to 200 wins for him. He's at 198.
Okay.
He needs 2 more wins, but I don't think he can get anybody out.
He can get him out tonight, I think.
He's the slowest pitcher in baseball at 85.
Well, how is New York?
New York is not good, but New York is not Kansas City or Colorado, who Adam couldn't get out. It's going to be tough. But you just pulling for me. Can the Cardinals score 14 runs? Can the Cardinals score 100 runs? Just get some runs for the guy. Help him win 2 more games.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's been a rough season. Illinois football, 2 weeks from coming up Saturday, 2 weeks from Saturday.
True.
We have Mike Small, who did it again. He's the PGA Senior Illinois champ for the 14th time.
Unbelievable. That's an amazing guy, man. He's our buddy.
Every time, so I'm a broken record. He doesn't really play golf. He just has a muscle memory that must be extraordinary.
He doesn't play every day like a professional golfer.
He
just has it. Some people have it, and Steve, some of us don't.
I know, but why don't I? Why can't I do that? It's a phenomenal 14-time senior PGA
That's
champ.
Great. That is great, man.
Mike Small, 135.
And he transfers that to the players. So it's more than muscle memory because there's something to it.
He's got 2 in the amateur, the top 64.
That's right.
In the U.S. amateur.
This is probably a secret. We just needed to spend some more time with him.
I'm sure he's
let's call Mike Small and say, hey, Johnny and I think we got
Come on, you can tell us now.
We're just going to hang out.
What are you doing? Come on, what are you doing?
You could probably caddy for him.
No, we'll just hang out. Now where are you going, Mike? What are you doing now?
You'll probably be a caddy.
He'll probably be very nice. Thank you, guys. We have so much fun. Let me get back with you.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
But I tell you, I think part of it is he's a terrific teacher. The other part is I think he has the gift of urgency. I think his players know that this, you can develop and get better, but there's certain things that he expects from you, and you're going to have to get to that level to play. you're not going to play if you're not getting to that level and doing something. So and it's not that easy. Just think how much money we could make if we knew the absolute secret to recruiting and how to pick a guy that's going to be fantastic when the chips are down.
And then you got to know how to coach him so you don't ruin him like many people do.
Yeah,
Mike
true.
actually brings the best out in somebody.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate coach. So
Well, it's a phenomenal run that he's had here over 20 years now for Mike Small. Congratulations to Coach Small
The
again.
soccer team in action against Loyola at 7 o'clock tonight at
soccer.
Demergeron Park.
And EIU came in and beat the volleyball team in an exhibition.
That's right.
3-1 exhibition, but made Eastern Illinois pretty happy
But
last
go
night.
Illini.
All right, we're going to break. We'll come back. It is Thursday. We know what that means. We'll grab John Decker on the Tabbins Joint phone line, talk about an array of issues. He is Gray Television's White House correspondent and one of the very, very few that will ask a challenging question that they sometimes don't like.
Sometimes.
Stand by. 7:30. News, weather, sports, all coming up.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
Car 3 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. Cashback's another.
Trial began March 4th, 2024, one day before Super Tuesday. South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace telling Fox.
I mean, the former president and I have not always seen eye to eye, but when I look at this, there's no way that you can have anyone in this country can have a fair trial when the outcome is predetermined.
Trump is set to turn himself in next Friday, 2 days after the first GOP debate here on Fox. 111 people are confirmed dead in Maui. More than 1,000 are still unaccounted for. The president and first lady will visit the island on Monday. And President Biden and his supporters celebrated 1 year of the Inflation Reduction Act yesterday, but only 36% of U.S. adults approve of his handling of the economy, according to a new Associated Press NORC poll. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Joe Miller. 2 Illinois residents among those named in the Georgia indictment accusing former President Trump and others of illegally attempting to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Prosecutors named Chicago publicist Trevian Kuti and suburban church pastor Reverend Stephen Cliffgard Lee in the indictment, both charged with racketeering, influencing witnesses, and conspiring to commit false statements. Officials celebrating the grand opening of a new fire station in Decatur. Ribbon cutting was held by the Decatur Regional Chamber of Commerce for Fire Station 7. New station will serve the area south and east of Lake Decatur. It was previously located on grounds of the Decatur Airport. Portion of Mattis Avenue in Champaign closed today so crews can perform storm sewer repairs. SNN Construction closing the right lane of northbound Mattis Avenue at Hedge Road. Work is planned to be completed and reopen at traffic by tomorrow afternoon. Always drive safe in construction zones. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and Van Ham vicinity, and the next cold front on the move through the northern reaches of the state, and a band of some shower and thunderstorm activity. It may break up a little bit as the morning progresses, but still a couple of spots will see some rainfall before the early afternoon is done. That's when the frontal passage will move on through. West winds take hold. A cooler day's worth of weather, temporarily so for the day tomorrow. Big warm-up slated for the back end of the weekend and a good part of next week as well. A late season heat wave weather pattern into the first few days of next week. 82 the forecast highs. Winds turn westerly this afternoon, 15 to 25 and gusty with a partly sunny sky expected. Clear tonight, diminishing wind down to 56. Mostly sunny, cooler for the day tomorrow at 77. We'll warm it up for the weekend. Saturday high of 84. Top the 93-degree mark on Sunday with more humidity. Hot humid weather with mid-90s Monday and Tuesday. Near 90 and the next chance for shower thunderstorm around here for Wednesday next week. Slightly cooler, drier air late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Roches, Greg Soldier.
All right, thank you, Greg. 7:34 in Champaign-Urbana, ESPN 93.5. Got Brother Johnny here. We got Diane Ducey here. And it's Thursday. John Decker. John Decker. John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker. John Decker.
Yes, children in combines now singing the song. Hoping it'll be on his ringtone someday where he's asking Karine Jean-Pierre a question and it goes off.
Yes.
That would be thrilling for me.
too.
John Decker, we got Brother Johnny in our studio
Hey,
this week.
John. Good morning.
Hey there, Johnny. Hey there, Diane. Hope you're doing well today.
All right. To begin, holy cow. just spin the roulette here on topics to talk about. I guess the first is that new polling showing Donald Trump maybe even increasing leads in the Republican primary. Vivek Ramaswamy, one of my favorites, is now second over Ron DeSantis.
How about that? Well, that's one poll, and it obviously depends what poll you're looking at. And also, it's important to remember that races are decided for both parties, state by state. So we'll have to see how Ron DeSantis and the others fare against Donald Trump in the Iowa caucus, which is 5 months from this past Tuesday. Unbelievable, just 5 months away until the Iowa caucus takes place. And, of course, next Wednesday, August the 23rd, is the first Republican presidential debate. Donald Trump still has not indicated whether or not he's going to be there. I don't think he will be. But that's an opportunity for those not named Donald Trump to shine, to break away from the pack during that debate next Wednesday night. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there in Milwaukee, and hopefully we can talk next Thursday from Milwaukee.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, we want a first-hand account of that.
Yeah. Okay, so if he doesn't sign the I'll support the Republican that wins the primary pledge, can he ever be in a debate?
Well, that's a good question. And also, can he be in a debate if the debates are scheduled while he's dealing with a criminal trial? That is also a possibility because the debates will happen in earnest, next year, 2024. They're just next Wednesday is just the first one, just getting started. And, you look at that debate stage next Wednesday night. Not everyone on that debate stage will necessarily be still in the race come January of next year. Some will drop out. Some will drop out because their poll numbers are not, moving beyond single digits, or they're not raising money, and it just doesn't make sense to go on. So we saw this with Kamala Harris. She dropped out before the Iowa caucus in 2020, and she ends up on the vice presidential running mate to Joe Biden. So anything can happen. I think Donald Trump's going to be looking at a lot of those individuals on that debate stage. And he said it himself, who could possibly on that debate stage be his running mate?
You make a good point. Not my question I was going to ask you, does Donald Trump need to even go to a debate? And maybe he'll just watch it with us to pick out his vice president.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like The Apprentice in a way,
exactly.
Watching it at home, voting at home. But you're right, he's up by double digits. His attitude is why go to the debate where he can possibly, make a mishap, stumble, get attacked. I mean, that's going to happen if he's on that debate stage. But it's disappointing. I would have loved to have seen Donald Trump on the same debate stage as Mike Pence. That would have been just fascinating. The former president running against his former vice president for the Republican nomination. That's just unheard of. And so we won't get that opportunity, I do not think. And so he hasn't announced yet what he'll do instead, whether he'll just be at home in Bedminster watching it on television, whether he'll have, alternative programming, so to speak, have a campaign rally somewhere, or whether he'll just, be posting to social media in real time during the debate, commenting on the various.
No, he might. He may not be able to resist it at the last minute. Johnny's such a showman, but he definitely will be tweeting along with it. So he's always a part of the game right now. He's just part of the whole thing.
But doesn't Ronald McDaniel have to approve that? Didn't she, the Republican chair, and he didn't sign the pledge, so he can't go to. I thought that's part of the rules. So you have to.
Well, it's part of the rules. You're right. He still needs to sign that. Everybody else that will be on that debate stage will have signed that pledge. It's not binding. I mean, you sign a pledge. It's worth as much as that paper that you're signing it. But then it's difficult. If you don't sign the pledge, you can just point to Donald Trump. Hey, the front runner hasn't signed it. Why should I sign it? So this could lead to some sort of anarchy, so to speak, in the Republican Party in terms of whether or not to sign that GOP pledge.
I also have to say, just as a scenario, Rona didn't want him on it, so she came up with this pledge, because that's pretty predictable that he wouldn't want to sign it.
Chris Christie didn't sign it, did he?
But on the other hand, you want to draw the crowds, and Trump will have the ratings. So, it's always the same old thing. But, yeah, I kind of with you, John, I don't think he'll go to this first one.
Okay, so, it's about your staff, too. Tell me why they didn't get Joe Biden out there to just say something about Maui for 5 days or whatever the heck it was? What the world were they thinking? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand that, and you may have seen he was on vacation. Everybody deserves a vacation, but reporters that were with him on vacation shouted out, your comments on the situation after the wildfires in Maui, and his response was no comment. That's a head scratcher. That's such a softball for a politician to comment on that. But yesterday, the White House announcing that President Biden, the First Lady Jill Biden, they will travel out to Maui this coming Monday to meet with all of the families, all of the business owners that have been impacted by this terrible tragedy. We spoke about it last week. Stevie is just really just watching those pictures, seeing those pictures, the video, just really terrible. He'll meet with first responders, and he'll meet with those just trying to, stand up, a part of Western Maui that looks so different than it did before what happened last week. And of course, he'll see firsthand for himself the devastation. But yeah, why it took so long, to me, the other head scratcher, no one's talking about this, Stevie, and I'm going to bring it up with you. Where's Barack Obama? He's a native of Hawaii. I mean, he should be out there. He should be putting out a statement. He's in Martha's Vineyard. I mean, look, the guy is a native Hawaiian. He should be a goodwill ambassador in terms of helping out the people of Western Maui. That's something
a good point.
That's
I have no idea. Why wouldn't Barack Obama?
I didn't think of that one. By contrast, Trump had a pretty good statement about the whole thing pretty quick. So, and a lot of people looked to him as if he were president.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
You're right about it being a pretty easy political topic to.
I mean, Joe Biden should have stepped to the microphone hour 4 and say, "I'm going to ask former President Obama to lead a group that will, help with the relief act." I mean, that kind of thing. They did that with Clinton and Bush.
Well, he just could have said, "We're going to really help. This is terrible." John's got it down, and he didn't. I don't know. That's a head scratcher. That's what you like to say.
Where's the staff? John Decker would have had him out in front of them. I mean,
I agree with you. Where's the staff? Where's the First Lady? I mean, all these things, it's just like, I get it, like you're on vacation, but, you got to drop what you're president of the United States. You got to drop what you're doing. And in fact, he was planning to be on vacation all of next week in Lake Tahoe. And so someone got to him and said, look, you can't be on vacation all next week in Lake Tahoe. You got to go out to Maui. You're halfway there being in Lake Tahoe. So I think that's what ultimately convinced him to make this trip on Monday.
By the way, I'm actually going to say that when they asked him about Maui, I don't think he heard it. Because he said no comment and smiled. I just don't think he heard a thing.
That could be it.
His reaction was, possible. You don't smile. I just don't think he's just...
Well, don't forget, I think his staff usually tells him absolutely everything to do. Someone didn't tell him to do anything, so he didn't do anything.
Okay, so the laundry list is long. Afghanistan's been the worst thing in the last 3 years for me.
Mine's Ukraine, John.
Ukraine, inflation, crime, the border. There's so many things. But if the president comes out and starts talking about, the anniversary of his Inflation Reduction Act, if you're going to tell me that I don't have a headache when I do, am I going to believe you? I mean, it just isn't. Some of this stuff just doesn't. I'm paying a lot for everything. Groceries are out of sight.
Right.
I just don't think you can convince me things are great, and you saying they're great, I just don't think I can believe that.
Right, and even the title, the name of that law, Inflation Reduction Act, it has nothing at all to do with reducing inflation. And even President Biden conceded that in an interview that he did this past week. He said, I shouldn't have named it that. It's, and then he talked about what it actually does. It's the largest investment in climate initiatives in our country's history. But, in order to get the support of people like Joe Manchin, you had to call it the Inflation Reduction Act. I mean, that's the power of messaging, I guess you could say.
But, you know, we shouldn't be too surprised. I believe that the Obamacare bill was called the Affordable Care Act. So
that's right.
That kind of tripled all of our premiums.
Right.
Didn't Obama also say shovel-ready jobs?
Yeah. Well, he did admit that.
Right.
They weren't as shovel-ready as we thought.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he did.
That's exactly right.
With everything going on in our world today, and with the impending election coming up, I mean, this one, and you've been around since the '90s, covering all this, John. So this one feels harder to predict than ever.
Yeah, this, as all elections, when someone is running for re-election, it should be about the incumbent, the 2024 campaign. But tell me if you disagree. If Donald Trump is the nominee for Republicans and he's the front runner, it looks like he will be. It looks like it will be a rematch. It's going to be, in my view, not only a rematch in terms of who's running, but also a rematch in terms of what the election's all about. 2020 was all about Donald Trump. And 2024, I think, is going to be all about Donald Trump. And it shouldn't be. It should be about Joe Biden. It should be about his record. It should be about what he's done, what he's not done, the problems that he's had, his successes. He passed the bipartisan infrastructure law. But it should be about the incumbent and their record and judging that against the alternative. Instead, I think it's going to be about Donald Trump all over again. After all, he's going to be dealing with all these criminal trials next year. So that will be one reason why it's going to be all about Donald Trump.
Well, I think, can Joe Biden win twice being not Donald Trump? I'm not Donald Trump. Can you win twice on that?
I think he can. Yeah. I mean, look, a poll came out yesterday. You talk about polls, and Donald Trump talks about polls. And yes, his polls are good within the Republican Party. But the poll that I saw yesterday, his polls are not good with the general electorate, and that's how you win. That's how you win the White House. Not saying that Joe Biden's polls are phenomenal, because they're not. His polls are also terrible, but it's a binary choice. We are going to have, all Americans will have essentially the choice between staying with what you have, Joe Biden, or going back to what we had with Donald Trump. That's the choice that people will make. And, to me, it's a difficult, as you point out, it's a difficult type of race that we're talking about. It's a very unusual situation with these two individuals who both still have special counsels looking into their activities. One special counsel is already indicted the former president, the other special counsel looking into Joe Biden and his retention of classified material. So very interesting what we're talking about here.
I think too, John, what a number to look at. I think it's 50%ish never would vote for Trump. 43 would never vote for Biden. I think with a year and a half to go, they could tie in that, which puts Trump in. I think they're just going to. Yeah. I don't believe the Democrats are going to stick with Biden, but if
but
they
he's
do,
not Trump. I mean,
I think the two negatives kind of might grow to cancel, and that would put Trump as a real viable candidate against Joe Biden. I don't think he could have beat anyone but Hillary on the last election. So they might have done it again by picking someone he can actually beat.
You don't think who could have beat anybody but Hillary? Who are you
I don't know that
there?
Trump would have beat anybody if the Democrats had put another candidate up besides.
Oh, in 2016.
Yes, in 2016. Yes.
Yeah. She was a terrible candidate, right? She was just
a lot
terrible.
of negative. Negative thing. A lot of negatives on the Democrats.
Negative. A lot of people. Those independents said, you know what? I have two choices here. I'm going to go with this non-politician and Donald Trump. Give him a shot, and that's what happened. That's
and I think Trump
wins
wins the. I'm not voting for either one of them. I think that there's a growing number of people just aren't going to either vote or they'll vote for some Queen Latifah, whatever.
Yeah.
But
what about
wasted vote?
She ran.
Could it be? I mean, could it be possible at all, with everything in play here, that Vivek Ramaswamy could be Trump squared, as the New York Times called him?
Well, I don't know.
Well, are you saying?
Could he be the alternative if something happens and Trump isn't there? Is Vivek Ramaswamy the same kind of business guy, new guy? He's young. He's 37. He's really smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see Vivek debate Joe Biden.
He's in the hunt without Trump, but that's the big deal.
Yeah, right. Well, you saw Kristi Noem, South Dakota. They said, well, Kristi, why aren't you running? She was at Sturgis for the motorcycle rally. She said, because nobody wins but Trump. Why would you run? In the primary, nobody's going to win.
She's honest about it.
Yeah.
And I think that she's playing the, waiting in the wings part. If Trump's the nominee, I think that she's one of the few people who hasn't criticized Donald Trump. And, look, I think that she would be on that short list to be his running mate. So I think she played it pretty smart in passing up the opportunity to run in this election cycle.
And go back to Vivek, I have not seen him criticize Trump, so he's
very good.
Smart enough that he might not get into that.
And he's also one that's jumped out and said, "I will pardon Trump on day one." His Trump supporters will like that, and also the fact that he's jumped out and said, all these indictments are just political. He's been really forward about
John. I was telling Stevie and Diane. I said, what's refreshing to me is he's just smart. It's just nice to see somebody really smart.
Yeah,
I may not agree with everything he says, but he's smart. I like smart.
Right. and going along with what you're suggesting, that's a long bumper sticker, just so you know. Right?
right. John Decker, great television's White House correspondent. Keep up your fine work. We can't wait to talk debate next week with you, sir.
I look forward to it. Thanks, Stevie. Thanks, Johnny. Bye, Diane.
All right, thanks, John.
John Decker, great television's White House correspondent, ESPN 93.5.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And the next weather system, a cold front lining up over the northern reaches of the state, and a couple of bands of shower thunderstorm activity will make their way across the area. Generally, best coverages to the north of Champaign, but a little activity here and there for the morning to early afternoon. Slightly cooler, drier sets up for the day tomorrow. Big warm-up slated for the weekend, particularly on Sunday. First half of next week, it's a heat wave weather pattern, but we have found a backdoor cool front. The east temperatures just a wee bit, and easy humidity as well later next week as well. In the meantime, partly sunny, windy, a shower thunderstorm in spots here morning to early afternoon. The high at about 82. West winds will take hold for the afternoon, 15 to 25, gust 30 to 35. Diminishing wind 4 to 9, clear, cooler 56, mostly sunny tomorrow, cooler, and 77. We'll warm it up to 84 with sunshine on Saturday, 93 as humidity builds on Sunday. Hot, humid weather with mid-90s Monday and Tuesday, up near 90, and maybe a thunderstorm late Wednesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting and meteorologist Greg Solgay.
It's Emily Atkins. She owns something called Happy Healing. Tell me about what you have planned coming up.
September 9th, we have our spiritual spa day. We have 3 wellness practitioners coming. We have Brenda, who does sound bowl healings with crystal bowls, Drea, who does facials, and we have Emily, who does massages. So we'll be selling tickets, and so you'll have a half hour of each, and then I'll be there and we can make candles too. You can go to the website, happyhealing.us.
Hey, where are you headed? To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. What do they have there? What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more. So, everything. Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. Well, on Thursdays at this time, we do something called Did You Know with Nathaniel's son. He's in Chicago. He's my son. That's why we call him Nathaniel's son. And a little tip of the cap to Karate Kid. Mm-hmm. Nathaniel!
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. One of these days, I'm actually might have to learn karate to live up to my name that I'm developing.
Well, you took Taekwondo till you were like 6 or 7.
I did. I know that's true. It's been a few years. I don't think my uniform would fit.
All right. So what do you got for us on Did You Know?
Well, this morning, and we'll try what we've been doing the past couple weeks, where for the next few mornings, we'll stick on a topic, and it's going to be adventure and exploration. Now, we all know there's never-ending forms of exploration and pushing boundaries, but we'll start with what I think is one of the most basic and instinctive for us, which are mountains. Now, in Champaign-Urbana, mountains aren't really exactly prominent or even present, but if you've ever been on a hike, you can appreciate the sense of excitement and empowerment that comes from that adventure, and which some of the first people to do it must have experienced. Now, we'll start with a basic one. Most of us probably know the tallest mountain in the world is Mount Everest. It's just over 8,800 meters, which is 29,000 feet above sea level, just below the cruising altitude of a jet. Now, Everest was first summited in May 29th of 1953 by Sir Edmund Hillary from New Zealand. And, Dad, you actually gave me a signed postcard this past year for my birthday, which is in my office and such a cool souvenir or memento.
Signed by Sir Edmund Hillary.
It's Uncle Johnny, Nathaniel. I'm listening.
Hey, Johnny. Morning.
Morning.
Well, so with Everest being the tallest, it's actually interesting, and maybe a lot of folks didn't know that it's actually not regarded as one of the most difficult mountains. It is challenging just from its sheer height and the altitude that you're climbing at, but the second tallest mountain in the world, which is K2, the letter K, the number 2 in Pakistan, is actually the most challenging, regarded as the most challenging mountain in the world. And for every 4 people that attempt to climb it, 1 doesn't survive. So there's a 75% chance of survival on the second mountain in K2. Now, on Mount Everest, the process of climbing can actually take up to 2 months because people who go there have to acclimatize. What they do is they get to base camp, and then they take shorter climbs to train their body and acclimatize their body to climbing at such a high altitude. And then, weather pending, they will go for the summit over a multi-day process. So, you might be thinking, well, this is great and all, and these mountains are, continents away and a lifetime of skills from what I'm capable of. But not to worry, because there's actually a number of opportunities around Champaign-Urbana to hike, some of which I've been to, like Kickapoo and Lake of the Woods, and even Homer Lake Forest Preserve, which personally I've never been to. So really, for folks, for anyone who's interested in hiking, the first step is just getting outside and just starting.
Yeah. Well, it is quite amazing that people get up on there and there's, you said K2, there's 25% chance you're not going to live, 75% chance of survival. I mean, there is huge risk, and then the altitude sickness that is common if you don't climb it. You have had Nathaniel and Christian Benjamin Grace all climbed, 7,000-foot mountains on several occasions. So, up in Canada for Young Life, and that was an exhilarating feeling.
Well, that's pretty good, Nathaniel, but Matthew lives at 7,000 feet in Estes Park, Colorado. Gotcha. So it's not quite like that 29,000.
What was it? Well, even peaking at 7,000, wasn't that exhilarating?
Oh, for sure. That was an amazing experience, and obviously it can be scaled down. You can do smaller day hikes, which we've done on trips, Dad. When we've been in places, we've done small hikes, and it's still exciting, but certainly when you get to climb an actual mountain, that's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
And what
I
will say for living at...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
And I was going to say, you could go out by buoys and climb Yankee Ridge. And actually, it's a pretty good view from up there.
Yeah, it is. The highest point in county. Champaign County, Yankee Ridge.
So you're right, Nathaniel. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
We'll have to work pretty hard to acclimatize in Champaign at 700 feet, but we'll get there.
Well, good stuff, Nathaniel, son. Did you know? Great. We always appreciate you on Thursday, bud.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, talk soon. Thank you.
All right, take care.
That's Nathaniel's son in Chicago, and Did You Know?
I hiked in the Bavarian Alps above the tree line, and there was a cross at the peak.
Do you know how high that was?
I don't. I was just kind of looking to see. A lot of them around 8,000 feet. But just a great experience.
Well, and the kids did Beyond Malibu, which is those mountain climbs. They did them 3 times, and... it's everything's on your back.
Right.
It's like pitch a tent, and it's like dig a hole and don't leave anything there and all that stuff.
Right. I've noticed when you're climbing uphill, though, it's really hard. So I don't do it that much.
Yeah.
It is.
Like you start at the top. It's not that bad because you're going down.
That's right.
And I went between my high school and college years, so I was in tip-top shape at that time, so all good.
Yeah, it is challenging, no doubt. Janet and I in Maui, actually, it was Mount Haleakala. In Maui, Mount Haleakala.
Is that close to the western side?
It's on the other side, I do believe. Anyway, you drive all the way up this huge mountain, and then you get on a bicycle. It's 39 miles, but you never pedal. It's all downhill, and it's quite the experience.
But you walk up?
You take a van.
Oh, okay. Now I could do that.
But the first bicycle
ride down.
The first bicycle they gave me didn't have brakes.
Oh no!
And you can fall off the cliff if you're not paying attention. I said, "Could you give me?" They were a little squeaky, and they couldn't. I said, and they just grab another bike.
Well, that's good. You pointed that out. To
yeah,
them.
I was happy I did that.
Well, in my defense, Steve, I was traumatized running up and down the ramps at Memorial Stadium when we played
working
football.
for football.
I'm telling you.
Man,
it was hard.
That was tough.
And sometimes you get some momentum on those ramps at Memorial
going
Stadium.
down and when you're tired, that's a whole. You could also have troubles going both ways. It was so I stay on the flatlands.
News coming up.
Join the Champaign Parks Foundation for a fun evening of food, socializing, and entertainment at the iHotel and Conference Center with Champaign Park District's Youth Scholarship Fund to benefit from the new Ties and Tennies Gala. It's coming up on Thursday, September 14th, and you'll enjoy dueling pianos, a plated dinner, complimentary wine and beer, live and silent auction, and featured speaker Team USA Paralympian sitting volleyball player Nicole Millage. Learn more details. Visit champaignparks.org.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business, as well as Central Illinois employees dedicated to providing you with professional installation and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump just posted that on social media, again blaming radical left lunatics and thugs for interfering with the election. The day after the DA overseeing the fourth Trump indictment in Georgia proposed a March 4th trial date.
Fox News polling reveals 53% do in fact feel like Trump did something illegal, but at the same time, 51% of registered voters across the board feel as though the Justice Department's treatment of Trump is motivated by partisan politics.
Fox's Brooks Singman. The Fox News poll also has the former president way out in front in the Republican race at 53%, 37 points ahead of Ron DeSantis. Vivek Ramaswamy's third, 42 points back. There will be a Trump interview on Fox Business's Kudlow show at 4 p.m. Eastern today.
Inflation was caused, in my opinion, by energy, because it's so big. Energy is so big. It's like all-encompassing everything.
It's up to 111 wildfire deaths in Hawaii, where Governor Josh Green says more crews will search the ashes around Lahaina for more remains.
They are adding a significant force on the ground, so they are now up to 30 dogs. They'll move to 40.
More than 1,000 people remain unaccounted for. There's an update on the 9/11 terror attacks mastermind still being held at the Guantanamo military prison. The Biden administration is considering plea agreements that could spare Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 others from the death penalty. There's an update on an American the U.S. says is wrongfully jailed in Russia as an accused spy.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken reportedly talked with Paul Whelan by phone, encouraging him to keep the faith. The story, first reported by CNN, says Blinken told Whelan, quote, "We're doing everything we can to bring you home as soon as possible."
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The U.S. is also demanding journalist Evan Gershkovich, also jailed in Russia, be set free. Just got an update on unemployment showing first-time jobless claims dropped slightly last week. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close, or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated. That used to be me. Then I got this. Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion. A probiotic, right? Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
There's a manhunt in Texas. The morning after a traffic stop led to a shooting in Harris County. The gunman fled after critically injuring a deputy. A police officer is also in critical condition in San Jose after being shot by a gunman who's in custody. And also in California, A U.S. Marine is in trouble, accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl.
The name of the Marine, who's stationed at Camp Pendleton near San Diego, hasn't been released, but he is due in court to face 2 sets of Uniform Code of Military Justice charges. He is accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl who was found in his barracks on June 28th. She had been reported missing by her grandmother on June 13th. The Marine is also accused of breaching restrictions, including traveling to San Diego in a non-governmental vehicle on June 27th, the same day of the alleged assault.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Hillary has grown into a hurricane in the Pacific and is forecast to hit Mexico and then early next week move into California towards San Diego, perhaps as a weaker tropical storm again by then. But Fox meteorologist Janice Dean says...
Yeah. So this is going to be a huge story.
She says a big story because it's a desert area that could have some flooding. There have been a lot of accusations since COVID first hit of people spreading false information about the virus. Well, here's more.
The study by the University of Massachusetts claims 52 doctors from around the country posted misinformation about COVID-19 on social media. Researchers say that included questioning the safety and efficacy of vaccines, promoting alternative treatments, or disputing mask wearing and social distancing. The study suggests the misinformation could be blamed for hundreds of thousands of COVID deaths in the U.S. But among the things the study labels as misinformation is the theory the virus was spread from a lab leak in China. Several organizations, including the FBI, now believe that's the most likely cause of the pandemic.
That's Jack Callahan. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Jim Miller. Big changes on the way for a Champaign County nursing home. Facility has new owners and they have Central Illinois roots. Accolade Healthcare taking over Champaign-Urbana Nursing and Rehab in Savoy at Burwash Avenue and Regency Drive. The facility can hold up to 214 beds. Right now it's set up for 195. Decatur Fire Department responded to a vacant house fire in the city on Tuesday night. DFD says they responded to the 600 block of West Olive at about 6. Saw smoke coming from the eaves. The fire was quickly brought under control. The origin of the fire was determined to be suspicious. DPD and Office of the State Fire Marshal were called in to investigate. Students in Champaign began school Monday, but some families already expressing issues with the district. Champaign Unit 4 and parents said they are already experiencing issues with the school bus system. This school year, Unit 4's Transportation Department will safely transport more than 5,000 students to and from school. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design, and right now we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you.
You can't touch this.
No, not that kind of wrapper.
You can't touch this.
Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. aftershockdd.com.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. Well, he is meteorologist Greg Solier, being brought to you today by Carl.
Carl, remind you, we know it's back to school time and getting the top of your game with all the sports physicals, too. Find a location near you to take care of you on those physicals for the kids. Carl.org.
Well, gorgeous across East Central Illinois here this morning, Mr. Weather Meteorologist Greg Solier, but I know it's going to warm up.
Yeah, it'll warm up around here. We've got some heat and humidity for the back end of the weekend and kind of a mini heat wave weather pattern through mid next week. We'll probably keep things warmer than usual for the rest of the month, but a little backdoor cool front should take the heat and humidity down a couple of knots. Middle part of next week. Speaking of another frontal boundary and a cold front, that's on the move over the northern and western end of the state. And a couple of stronger storms earlier on this morning outside of the Quad Cities, and a couple of warnings now in Fulton County out southwest of Peoria. Do not foresee that reaching to a heavier severe category around here, and very much hit miss scattered at random mid-morning to around noon or 1 o'clock this afternoon. Most of the real steady stuff stays well north of Champaign County. Top about this afternoon, a gusty southwest and west wind to about 82. A lot about clear, more comfortable tonight, diminishing wind, and 56. That west wind this afternoon could hit 30 to 35 miles per hour. Sunshine cooler tomorrow, 77. Sunny warmer, 84 Saturday, 93 on Sunday. Humidity creeps back up with mid-90s for Monday, Tuesday, and maybe a thunderstorm near 90 on Wednesday, and then 80s for high temperatures late next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Rochus, Greg Solier.
Yeah, pretty much everybody back school. I mean, everybody's pretty much. And again, I think it's new that you get, a week off in the fall now, because that's why they're starting so early.
Well, I know we had Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, whatever we're calling it nowadays. And that was a break in October. So maybe they kind of made extra days on that week.
My mom had this 5th grade book that had cursive writing, and it was, I'm not sure whose book it was, but it was somebody from 1920. So somebody in her family, and it was like a picture book, and they described what the pictures said. And I'm not sure college students would have had the kind of a level of education. The 5th grade handwriting was unbelievably beautiful. The content looked, I mean, you're going, we're 5th graders couldn't do this today. First of all, I don't think anybody can cursive write anymore, can they?
And my mother had such beautiful handwriting. It was like a thing back in the day.
But can people cursive write anymore?
And I don't even know if they're teaching it.
Well, how do they write? What if all the computers broke and there are no keyboards? What if you don't know your phone breaks? I'm just wondering, do they print now? They have to learn the alphabet and learn. I mean, kindergarten, you were doing, printing your letters, right?
Right.
So are we not doing cursive writing? And frankly,
currently only 21 states require cursive writing in public school curriculum.
So people don't do cursive writing. So that's like the horseshoe. That's the horseshoe on the horse, which we don't need anymore either. Is that the same kind of thing? I mean, it is really amazing, the evolution of. It's been 25 years since we heard that, you've got mail. I mean, that was so cool.
Absolutely.
Now where are we?
Team Cursive advocates say it not only improves retention and comprehension, but engages the brain to develop a deep level for students to join the letters in a continuous flow.
When was the last time you did addition, 182 plus 486?
I'm grabbing, even for that.
No,
I'm grabbing my phone.
It goes faster, but your brain doesn't. Remember that scientists had told me 3 ways to grow your brain like a bicep. You wear tight shirts, you're really strong. Mm-hmm. You can make your brain like that by 3 things. It was speaking, it was reading, and it was math. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think we're doing much math every day because we're just adding it up on the computer. Everything's on the computer. So there is no cursive writing.
And you can enter handwriting recognition apps combining cursive and digital text.
Well, see, you don't have to do it, though. Can anybody write a capital Q in cursive? How about a capital Z? Well, I know you don't use it, but still, you ought to know how to cursive write.
It is an interesting form on this. It almost looks like a 2, and then it's loopy down.
When was the last time you hand wrote a letter to anyone?
Inside the last month, Mary Jean, my sister, who has lovely handwriting too, wrote a letter to Aiden, and then we wrote a letter back.
But when was the last time Diane Ducey Outside Family wrote a letter to anybody? I'm just, we don't do it.
Exactly.
I can't really cite it either.
And it used to be every time I met with somebody, I'd write them a thank you note for sure.
Yeah.
And after a job interview or anything, you'd write these thank you notes.
Now you text them.
You text people.
LOL, and in case you missed this, I see you. I think, And the shorter, the better.
Exactly.
And cool people don't leave long messages. You just don't do it.
And see, my daughter Anna married Seth a few months ago, and she's due to have all these thank you letters out. But
and there's
she's like, Mom, I just want to text.
Well, them. Ken Hollis, his son Nathan wrote as good of a note thanking us for graduation.
After graduation.
It actually had relevance. It wasn't, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it. And then you're just done with it. You don't think, nobody
3
thinks
lines.
about it. No, he was referencing family. I mean, that's pretty thoughtful.
Yeah.
So I guess another way to stand out in your life is write a cursive note to somebody. And actually think about it and don't, as you sign it, think, that's another one done.
Yeah.
As a checklist thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8:13 sports headlines.
Oakland A's over St. Louis 8-0. Now they'll go up for a series against New York in St. Louis. It's a 6:15 start, and Waino is on the mound. What number are we at? 198?
Yep.
Okay.
Come on,
Adam.
Come
you
on,
can
bud.
you
Just
can do
two more.
Jose Quintana is who he's pitching up against when it comes to New York. Cubs over the Chicago White Sox 4-3. I just love hearing that last play, if you don't mind.
This is from the
with
television.
the walk-off style.
It was so exciting. The Cubs have not sent highlights, so I don't have those, but I did get the TV. This is a clip. It's a lot of noise, but it's Christopher Morel. The Cubs losing in the bottom of the ninth, 3-1. 2 runners aboard, so a home run would win the game.
Right field. That one back. Gone. Walk it off.
I guess Marcus Stroman is out. I mean, he's been out since July 31st, but Javier Assad is expected to take his place since he's on the IL.
Well, this morning the Chicago Cubs are in a tie for the wild card. This is real. They have a real shot at postseason.
Yep. So EIU over Illinois in volleyball yesterday.
Exhibition.
19-25, 25-23, 29-27, 25-23. Man, they were duking it out. Next up will be next Saturday against Northern Illinois, and there's a fun day for fans on Saturday between 11 and 1 for the volleyball team in Huff Hall. So take note of that. Loyola for women's soccer tonight at 7 in de Bergeron Park. Janet Rayfield, her 22nd year, 7-4 last year. 19 letter winners coming out, only 3 newcomers. And speaking of women's soccer, USA women's national coach has resigned. Vlatko Adanovsky. Worst ever World Cup showing for Team USA. Remember, Jill Ellis led America to the World Cup title in 2014 and 2019.
First Illini soccer coach.
Absolutely.
Jill Ellis.
And I believe she was the speaker last year. We had her on the air before she talked to the graduates and things like that. Actually, you ran into her on her way to the World Cup contest.
We were in Vancouver and stayed in the same hotel as they did before they beat Japan in the World Cup Championship. I did not, however, see her. We were waiting for the USA to come out to get to their bus. Had people lining all over the place just to cheer them on, but the ship was leaving. We were going to Alaska, and so I couldn't stay.
That's right.
Otherwise, Jill!
Go Illini.
Nobody else would have been
hollered out ILL and see if she did an INI.
She would have looked.
Exactly.
She would have said INI.
Third round match for Sweden and Australia, 4 a.m. on Fox Saturday. Spain will face England, 6 a.m. on Sunday. We had the Colts with Jonathan Taylor left the camp for a personal matter. I was looking at some of the fantasy football running backs. People are doing that right now, Stevie. Christian McCaffrey with the 49ers, Tony Pollard with the Cowboys, Saquon Barkley with the Giants.
Saquon Barkley.
Okay, yeah. Austin Eckler with
those are guys that score.
Right.
Touchdowns,
some of the running
catch
backs.
passes.
So if you're doing fantasy football, taking notes.
Yeah, people that are doing fantasy are well aware of Christian McCaffrey. He a couple of years ago, he was getting 40 points a game, which is a lot.
Nice.
Okay, 817 ESPN 93.5. You can always text us at 217-359-2255 on the Tapman's Towing phone line. We got Isaiah Williams will be joining Delonte and Derek Piper every Monday beginning a week from Monday. And then the Jay Lehman Hour will debut again this year, a week from Monday. So Jay Lehman, I just have to talk to Jay before he starts and just suggest he give us more energy.
Right.
Jay.
Maybe give him
a
drink with some caffeine in it.
Yeah. Jay Lehman is massively entertaining. He'll be on in the 3 o'clock hour. Thus, we get Jay again in the 5 o'clock hour because the hour replays. So you'll get 2 hours of Jay Lehman.
Exactly.
And I'm fired up for that.
And if you're a business owner and you're fired up for that, text in a line to 359-2255. I'll be in touch.
Yep. You can sponsor it. However, it is filling.
Exactly.
So if you're interested in that, certainly let us know. But Jay Lehman and Isaiah Williams on Mondays beginning a week from Monday. Isaiah is an outstanding human being. Oh, by the way, he's really good at football.
Yeah.
He caught 82 passes last year. He has a pro career ahead of him, but he is an outstanding human. The kid is thoughtful. He's really a good guy, and we love that. We love spotlighting good football players, but to me, for life's purposes, he's a fantastic human being.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got all that coming up. We'll check your weather with Greg coming up next. You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck, duck, goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for eastern Sonora, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And the next weather system, a cold front lining up over the northern reaches of the state, and a couple of bands of shower thunderstorm activity will make their way across the area. Generally, best coverages to the north of Champaign, but a little activity here and there from the morning to early afternoon. Slightly cooler, drier sets up for the day tomorrow. Big warm-up slated for the weekend, particularly on Sunday. First half of next week, it's a heat wave weather pattern, but we have found a backdoor cool front. The east temperatures just a wee bit, and easy better as well later next week as well. In the meantime, partly sunny, windy, a shower thunderstorm in spots here morning to early afternoon. The high at about 82. West winds will take hold for the afternoon, 15 to 25, gust 30 to 35. Diminishing wind 4 to 9, clear, cooler 56, mostly sunny tomorrow, cooler, and 77. We'll warm it up to 84 with sunshine on Saturday, 93 as humidity builds on Sunday. Hot, humid weather with mid-90s Monday and Tuesday, up near 90, and maybe a thunderstorm late Wednesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solke.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The job market continues to hold up. There were 239,000 new claims for unemployment benefits last week, considered a healthy level close to the estimate, and a decline of 11,000 from the previous week. Companies have been reluctant to lay off staff, and it appears that trend is holding. Continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, rose by 32,000 to 1.71 million. That's a sign more people remained on benefits in the latest survey. Also, the Philadelphia Fed manufacturing survey improved this month to a reading of 12. Walmart's business picked up in recent months as shoppers looking for bargains to fight inflation turned to Walmart, Sam's Club, and its online service, Walmart Plus, for groceries and health and wellness products. Walmart's sales and profit rose. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Listeners of Everything Will Be Okay will gravitate toward this podcast too. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. As they prep me to cover the upcoming election, make sure you subscribe to this series on FoxNewsPodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts and leave a rating and review.
This podcast will debut Monday, August 21st.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience, several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business. It's Emily Atkins. She owns something called Happy Healing. Tell me about what you have planned coming up.
September 9th, we have our spiritual spa day. We have 3 wellness practitioners coming. We have Brenda, who does sound bowl healings with crystal bowls, Drea, who does facials, and we have Emily, who does massages. So we'll be selling tickets, and so you'll have a half hour of each, and then I'll be there and we can make candles too. You can go to the website, happyhealing.us.
When you're looking for a business to work with, you choose someone local, someone who's terrific at what they do, a company that helps others in need in Champaign-Urbana, and a company that stands behind what they do. That company is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors has been keeping the rain out for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy and their family work hard to not only make sure you're 100% satisfied by their work, but that they also strive to have a positive impact on Champaign-Urbana. Roof Doctors in Urbana, they make you their number one priority.
Back to school at the University of Illinois means a fresh start, new experiences, and the chance to celebrate some of the university's most cherished traditions. One of the greatest traditions at the U of I is Homecoming Week. There will be a 5K on Sunday, October 14th to start the Homecoming Week festivities, a parade on the evening of Friday, October 20th that will end at Grange Grove, and the big homecoming football game against Wisconsin on Saturday, October 21st. For more information on this year's homecoming events, visit homecoming.illinois.edu. Go Illini!
Crossroads Contractor Supply, bringing us our Stevie Jay Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
We just celebrate police because they ought to be celebrated, folks. Difference between anarchy and peace. We have Officer Chloe Folks. She is our Law Enforcement Official of the Month. She's at the Urbana Police Department. How do you stay positive when you see the bad guys all the time?
My coworkers, the family, the camaraderie we have, we're all there for each other. Our goal is to make sure everybody gets home safely at the end of the night or the day. It's really just the family atmosphere that keeps me going.
So if you see something not so good, you're able to say, shut it off?
Yeah, you got to have some kind of emotional detachment and separate work from home. It's hard. Sometimes, we have through EAP and different work things that we can have help us kind of through that. But like I said, it's really my coworkers that get me through it. And, we maintain a positive attitude just so we can help each other get home at the end of the day. And sometimes we face hard things, but we get through it.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, delivering within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana, supporting our Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
All right, 825, ESPN 93.5. So if we have the Cubs broadcast. You heard it on US 105.9, our country station.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Pat Hughes. It's the bottom of the ninth, and the Cubbies are down 3-1 to the White Sox. And here comes Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer on the Cubs radio network.
Bellinger leads at second. Swanson away from first. And the 1-2. Swinging a drive toward right center. Back goes Robert. Back near the stands. That ball is gone. A game-winning home run for Chris Morel. Can you believe it? Listen to this crowd.
Cubs Sox series, you just never know. Morel with an opposite field 3-run bomb, game winner.
Cubs win the ball game. A dramatic home run by Christopher Morel. He has taken his shirt off. He is being congratulated, bear hugged, right along the third base line. He drove it just to the right of straightaway. I think the wind had a little bit of an effect. It was a well-hit ball, but the wind, I think, Ron, gave it that extra 5 to 10 feet.
There's no doubt. When you drive that ball, he didn't get it elevated all that much, but the wind howling out the center is going to give the ball a little extra push. No matter what, that's going to be an extra base hit on any day here at Wrigley, but with the wind blowing out, it ends up in the first row. And what a swing of the bat and a game winner for Christopher Morel.
Yeah, one of their young stars, Christopher Morel. Go Cubs, go! I mean, it's yeah. Who's the Cub manager again?
Ross, David Ross.
David Ross. He's going to get votes for manager of the year. I think David Bell from Cincinnati will probably get more votes at this point because last place Cincinnati is challenging the Cubs for that wild card spot and maybe even the division because Milwaukee's out in L.A. Nobody's beating L.A. right now. The Dodgers have won, 11 in a row?
Right.
They beat them again last night, 7-1. So they got hopefully another game tonight. I don't know if the Brewers will be released and allowed to leave Los Angeles because they're not going to beat the Dodgers right now. They're just playing like crazy. And they're just the Central Division. The only way anything happens with the teams in the National League Central is if somebody goes bazooka hot, which can happen. Hot beats better.
Uh-huh.
But that's it. You're going to have to be bazooka hot. I mean, crazy to beat the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves are just better than anybody Now maybe not the Dodgers. They're just teams that are at a different. The Cubs would be like Double A. This year the Cardinals would be A, and the Dodgers and Atlanta are in the big league. So it's just that kind of a thing. So, but anyway, the Cubs have a chance. So you're saying we have a chance.
Exactly.
And you go to Wrigley Field, Chicago, and sell out, and all those people yelling "Go Cubs, go!" Pretty exciting.
I love it.
828, it's ESPN 93.5.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Great to talk with Fayon about driving and delivering for Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana Bottling.
Come home every day. It pays very, very well, especially for a truck driver. They're very understanding. It's just a great company all around. They're always eager to help. And you off on the weekends. The company in general is just a great company. Very family-oriented. Comes in, check on you, see if you like it. Always asking questions, trying to see if you need any help. Pretty dope.
Sound appealing? Join the Pepsi team. Equal opportunity employer. Visit PepsiColaCU.com.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Whether your regular beauty counter has disappeared or you want a beauty refresh, then it's time to visit Merle Norman. Beautiful changes happen every day at Merle Norman. Whether you have a special event coming up or you're just in the mood for something new, you can depend on Merle Norman Cosmetics to satisfy all your beauty needs. From advanced skincare solutions to the latest looks and color, we're locally owned and ready to help you with expert guidance and award-winning products. No wonder we've been the go-to brand for millions of women since 1931. Visit us today at 706 West Market View Drive over by Subway.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need
Texas woman is charged with threatening to kill the federal judge in Washington, D.C. overseeing former President Trump's election conspiracy case, Tanya Chutkan.
Prosecutors say she also threatened to kill Texas Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who's running for mayor of Houston. Trump has publicly called Chutkan highly partisan and very biased and unfair. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
New Fox poll in the Republican presidential race.
Fox finding that former President Trump continues to dominate in the potential presidential field among Republicans with 53% support. In second place, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis now at 16%. And in third place, businessman Vivek Ramaswamy now at 11% support.
Fox's Mark Meredith Ramaswamy doubling his support since the last poll a month ago. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Jim Miller. Well, 8 people facing charges after the Illinois State Police conducted an anti-human trafficking operation last week in the Springfield area. Investigation focused on identifying individuals seeking to engage in commercial sex acts with minors. Operation part of a multifaceted approach by ISP aimed at stopping human trafficking in Illinois. West Nile virus present in Vermilion County this year. Health officials say a mosquito batch collected in the Fairmont area has been the first to test positive for the virus this year in Vermilion County. The county health department has collected 38 samples of mosquitoes. That's taken place since May. U.S. Geological Survey reporting that an earthquake hit southeast Illinois. That quake shook the area for about 4 miles southeast of Lawrenceville Monday night. The earthquake had a magnitude of 2.5. The good news, there were no injuries to report. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity, and the next cold front on the move through the northern reaches of the state, and a band of some shower and thunderstorm activity. It may break up a little bit as the morning progresses, but still a couple of spots will see some rainfall before the early afternoon is done. That's when the frontal passage will move on through. West winds take hold. A cooler day's worth of weather, temporarily so for the day tomorrow. Big warm-up slated for the back end of the weekend and a good part of next week as well. A late season heat wave weather pattern into the first few days of next week. 82 the forecast highs. Winds turn westerly this afternoon, 15 to 25 and gusty with a partly sunny sky expected. Clear tonight, diminishing wind down to 56. Mostly sunny, cooler for the day tomorrow at 77. We'll warm it up for the weekend. Saturday high of 84. Top the 93-degree mark on Sunday with more humidity. Hot, humid weather with mid-90s Monday and Tuesday. Near 90 and the next chance for shower thunderstorm around here for Wednesday next week. Slightly cooler, drier air late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Roaches, Greg Soldier.
Every industry has specialists, like Alan here. He knows radiators.
Radiators. I love them. Don't even talk to me about brakes or fuel lines.
Just radiators.
Radiators.
Sally is a specialist in cakes.
I think pies are an abomination.
Really? Pies?
Yuck.
Then we have Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. You know what they're great at? Appliances. Nothing else. No TVs, no computer printers, no radiators.
Who's got a problem with radiators?
Nobody, Alan, but you can't get one at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Too bad. They're missing out.
I'm Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. All we do is appliances. And when that's all you do it better than anyone else. Our associates on our sales floors know more about them. Our delivery people are better at installing them. And our technicians are better at fixing them. All right here in Central Illinois. Wow!
I can't believe you don't like pies, though.
What do I look like, some kind of a peasant?
No.
Cakes are really the best thing.
Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Houses, face painting, live music, tailgating, and more. Get a family 4-pack of tickets for only $49 as the Illini take on Toledo on Saturday, September 2nd. Get your tickets at fightingillini.com.
Where does he say his name?
He didn't on that one.
So there's another one that he says his name?
I thought he did.
And he says...
And I wanted to listen very closely. What's the hotkey say?
Well, he says, I think he says Bielema.
Right.
Is it Bielema? That's the proper way to say it, isn't it, Brett?
It's pretty close. It's Bielema. The second he's a little silent, though. Bielema.
So now what? If he says Bielema, I thought we cleared this up.
I did too.
This is your...
and it's the media, and yeah, everybody's pretty much Bielema.
Is it Bielema? That's the proper way to say it, isn't it, Brett?
It's pretty close. It's Bielema. The second he's a little silent, though. Bielema.
Okay, so what that means is it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But so for those of us that have to be right all the time,
the purists,
yeah. So for me to call anybody out because it's over.
Right.
He just said Bielema in some recorded something. So maybe I would guess, and I would bet $100 that he could care less.
That's right.
So he's just not going to fight that fight.
And so many, when you're casually talking about him, just say Coach B.
That's it. Just say Coach B. And then people say, are you saying D or B? Okay,
no, it's Brett Bielema.
This guy is as good a coach as we've ever had. Ooh, we'll see. But I don't know. You'd have to go back to John Mackovic, and I put an asterisk on his 3 years here because he took over from Mike White, and Mike White had Jeff George, I think, already committed. And if Stevie J has Jeff George, I might win 30 games, which John Mackovic did in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a difference maker. So anyway, I think Brett Bielema being 9-9 in the Big Ten after 2 years. Somebody that does this work can go back and look. The last time a coach was 9-9 in his first 2 years at Illinois in the Big Ten. I mean, Ron Turner was 0-11, wasn't he? It was just, it's really hard.
We're 17 days away from Toledo.
Wow.
1 month until kickoff against Penn State.
Yeah.
Wow. So what I was going to look up was Brett, Coach B, had his kids in their first day of school yesterday.
Well, that would have been a good moment to take your little girls to school. Well, the daughter's probably kindergarten now, huh? Maybe
and I think one...
There's 2 daughters.
It's preschool.
Yeah.
And one is like first grade or something like that. So...
Well, that's a great moment.
It was. And they were adorable in their uniforms.
217 texter, I'm still trying to figure out your last name, Stevie.
True.
Is it J initial or J-A-Y? And it's J-A-Y.
J-A-Y.
That's my middle name.
And is that actually your middle name?
That is actually my middle name. Well, it was one of those deals where when I first started as a highfalutin disc jockey, they wanted to sing a jingle and they couldn't with Khachaturian. They didn't know how to do that. So the program director said I should be called Chuck Roberts. And I said, who's Chuck Roberts?
Right.
And then I said, I think Stevie K, because my last name starts with K, or Stevie J, my middle name is J-A-Y. And he said, use J, it's a better last name.
Okay.
Than K. So then I went back and told Steve Stewart, who was on the air before me, because I got the really big time shift of midnight to 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told him Stevie J is on at midnight. I didn't.
Okay, so that's what you went with.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read that. I'm handing you
Brett
the
Bielma,
tweet.
just insane to see these two start another year of school. Look how big they are.
I know.
Thank you, Jen Bielma or Bielema. All of our Illini football wives that make all this happen when you can't be there this season. Love you, girls. They're just darling.
Yes, they are.
And thankfully, they take after his wife.
And the ribbons on their head.
Well, that's Jen.
Sweet.
That's all Jen. But one of the best line was, let me see if I can find
Pre-K and first grade are the little flags they're holding.
That's awesome.
With the first day.
There's a pre-K? What's that? The difference between that and like preschool?
Preschool.
So it's preschool.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Brett Bielma, Brett said, Coach B said, a great line when he was first coming here about recruiting. And what did he say?
That I don't want to go. I didn't come here to go 7-5.
5-7. No, he said, if you question my recruiting, just look at my wife.
Okay.
That's hard to argue with because he married far over his head, as I did. And so there he is. He's got 2 little girls. He built a big house. He said that this is his last rodeo because, you normally at about this time when Illinois starts well with a coach, it's like, who's going to get it? Somebody's going to hire him. Well, he's already been in the SEC. Old news. He's 53 or 4. He just extended till 2028. It'd be like 60. So I think he's here. And then I did the calculations that simply duplicating last year, average 8 wins a year, he'll pass Robert Zupke when he's 68.
Brett's 53. He married Jen in 2012.
Yeah, married late, so to speak. Usually guys get married before they're 40-something. And he's playing golf every day. And, when he was playing new Jen said, you going to do that again tomorrow? So, you kind of get in a routine. You play pretty well. You play every day kind of thing.
Right.
Anyway, so I doubt if he could play very well right now because I don't think he plays much golf anymore because he's got other stuff. But anyway, we're excited about football. Again, it's 2 weeks from Saturday, and off we go into another season. Yes, there are expectations. There weren't many last year, but now that you've taken me to a January 1st bowl in Tampa, kind of thinking I want the same deal. But I have lowered the expectations, friends, to 6 wins. Just get me to a bowl. It will be a catastrophe failure if we don't go to a bowl. That's just how every coach has done it. We've averaged 4 wins over the last decade. We got to do better. Just get me to 6. I just won a bowl game. And if it's better, fantastic.
Just pulled up an article, and Brett had said there's been some routine injuries during our camp.
Yeah,
and
Matt Bailey's the only guy
one.
Safety.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, everybody should be ready for 2 weeks from Saturday at 6:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ESPN 93.5. If you're looking for a pre-owned car, truck, or van, look no further than Sarah Champagne. You know them for their 5 incredible vehicle brands, the BMW, Honda, Subaru, Buick, and GMC. But did you know they also have over 100 used cars, trucks, and vans in stock right now? And at Sarah Champagne, they will take care of you. You can trust them. And prices begin at under $2,000. Stop by Sarah Champagne. They're at Burwash and Savoy, or go online, sarahchampagne.com. That's Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
It's Emily Atkins. She owns something called Happy Healing. Tell me about what you have planned coming up.
September 9th, we have our spiritual spa day. So we have 3 wellness practitioners coming. We have Brenda, who does sound bowl healings with crystal bowls. We have Drea, who does facials. And we have Emily, who does massages. So we'll be selling tickets, and so you'll have a half hour of each, and then I'll be there and we can make candles too.
So it's going to be just a very relaxing, wonderful time together.
Absolutely, absolutely. We only have 12 tickets available.
And it's what, $400, $500?
No, it's only $200.
For all of that?
Exactly.
So you're talking facial, massage, the crystal bowls?
Yes.
Which are going to relax and maybe put them to sleep.
Exactly.
And then they might make candles.
Exactly. And you'll walk out feeling like the best version of yourself. You can go to the website, happyhealing.us, or my Instagram, happyhealing_center.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
When Ross went out, I always told him, be careful, and that was the last time I got to see him.
Because someone didn't slow down and move over. Ross had on a bright orange shirt with reflective stripes the night he was killed.
He always had that smile. He just lit up the room when he came in.
Slow down and move over when you see flashing lights. Everybody is somebody.
When you see lights flashing, use caution passing. Let's all go home safe tonight.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries. Outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries. Outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
If you want a free assessment for your copying, printing needs, and you want to get with Greg Wolf over at Watts Copy Systems, local, and you'll get the service you've been looking for. So if you're not sure what your copying needs are, you need a copier, whatever it is, we're running out of ink. I got to get hold of them.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Wolf, Watts Copy Systems, where service is more than a promise. Sports headlines.
Oakland A's over St. Louis 8-0 yesterday. They're gearing up for a series starting up against New York. Jose Quintana on the mound for the Mets. Right? It's not the Yankees. I know it's
we
New
play the
York.
Mets. We play the Mets.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mets and Cardinals and Adam Wainwright trying to get that win.
Adam Wainwright.
Johnny's just jumped back in. Let me play the clip from the Cubs.
Okay.
This is bottom of the ninth.
Mm-hmm.
Cubbies down 2 with 2 people on. Home run would win the game.
Bellinger leads at second. Swanson away from first. And the 1-2.
Swinging a drive toward right center. Back goes Robert. Back near the stands. That ball is gone.
Hey, go Cubbies.
Game-winning home run for Chris Morrell.
Yeah, pretty exciting as the Cubs pull it out, and now they are tied for the wild card spot in the National League.
Who?
Cincinnati and Miami tied.
Well, Miami, what are they doing?
Well, Skip Schumacher, former Cardinal bench coach, is now their manager, and he's good. So, yeah. Okay.
By the way,
John
Steve,
Jay, first base coach.
Yeah, first base coach John Jay.
I'm not one to complain, but it's actually cold out there. It's actually cold. 69 compared to 98 is cold.
Yeah, for you, right?
But it's supposed to be about 80 later today.
Yeah, and next week got into the 90s.
Yeah.
Starting
New
on
Orleans
Sunday.
this next week. Yeah.
Cubs over the White Sox, as you just heard, 4-3. So they'll have a game starting up on Friday at 1:20 over on US 105.9 from Wrigley against the Kansas City Royals. We have Colts news that Jonathan Taylor has left camp for a personal matter. John, you missed. We were talking about some fantasy football players. Do you ever do that?
No.
Okay.
I've got enough problems.
Okay. In volleyball, EIU over Illinois in 4 sets, and it was very close. Northern Illinois, who they'll play next Saturday, tonight at 7 o'clock. A lot of the Illini students that are coming back and can enjoy their first experience to Bergeron Park. Loyola at 7 o'clock for women's soccer. That's essentially sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
All right, let's check your weather forecast one more time before we get out of here with our meteorologist, Greg Solier.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And the next weather system, a cold front lining up over the northern reaches of the state, and a couple of bands of shower thunderstorm activity will make their way across the area. Generally, best coverages to the north of Champaign, but a little activity here and there for the morning to early afternoon. Slightly cooler, drier sets up for the day tomorrow. Big warm-up slated for the weekend, particularly on Sunday. First half of next week, it's a heat wave weather pattern, but we have found a backdoor cool front. The east temperatures just a wee bit, and ease humidity as well later next week as well. In the meantime, partly sunny, windy, a shower thunderstorm in spots here morning to early afternoon. The high at about 82. West winds will take hold for the afternoon, 15 to 25, gust 30 to 35. Diminishing wind 4 to 9, clear, cooler 56, mostly sunny tomorrow, cooler, and 77. We'll warm it up to 84 with sunshine on Saturday, 93 as humidity builds on Sunday. Hot, humid weather with mid-90s Monday and Tuesday, up near 90, and maybe a thunderstorm late Wednesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Diane Ducey here with Nate Evans of eXp Realty. It's always a good time to sell your home.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Join Fighting Illini football for a family reunion in Memorial Stadium on Saturday, September 2nd to open the 2023 season. Bring the whole family and enjoy the family fun in Grange Grove with bounce houses, face painting, live music, tailgating, and more. Get a family 4-pack of tickets for only $49 as the Illini take on Toledo on Saturday, September 2nd. Get your tickets at fightingillini.com.
What kind of bedside manner would you like your doctor to have? At Roof Doctors, they make sure you feel good about what they can do for you. They make sure they answer all of your questions and feel comfortable about whatever procedure your roof needs. Roof Doctors has helped customers for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy have helped make lives better in our community with their generosity and kindness. Roof Doctors is a company you can trust if you need anything done on your roof. Roof Doctors in Urbana. They make you their #1 priority.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now's the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com.
Yep.
That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Okay, so we have The boys this afternoon, Lante and Derek Piper today, starting at 3 o'clock. They're on 3 to 5, and then the 3 o'clock hour repeats at 5 o'clock. We're getting ready for our Pia's broadcast, and that's going to be 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Friday, September 1st, starting at 3, and lots of giveaways. I'm excited to have all the specials and the giveaways that you sign up for. And since it's the 83 reunion for that Rose Bowl year with Mike White.
83 people are coming back 40 years later.
Those were the days.
Yeah. It was 80s belong to the Atlanta. I think Mike White's trying to come back. He's 83.
Right.
So,
well, I can tell you one thing about that season I'll always remember is we beat Ohio State for the first time, tore down the goalpost. Beat Michigan for the first time, tore down our goalpost. Clinched the division and tore down the goalpost. And our last game was at Northwestern, where we would be 9-0 in the Big Ten, where we went up, played them, beat them, and tore down their goalpost.
Oh, wow.
That was great.
Wow.
That's never happened.
Were the goalposts just kind of weak back
Well,
then?
a lot of people.
I remember they were only $3,500 each, but we were starting to run up a bill.
They're only $3,500.
Something like
Back
that in
in the day.
1983.
Okay.
You can check me on that.
Okay. All right.
But it didn't seem like that much to me at the time either.
Yeah,
But
okay.
they'd bend them over. Nobody got hurt somehow.
That's right.
But
They
would
don't
just,
really do that anymore.
No. I don't know if you
After
can.
you take them down, where are you just running in the middle of the field?
They just well, the goal is everybody mobs the goal.
Right.
field, and
Right,
They just
yeah,
take it
yeah.
down. Now you're right. I haven't seen that for a long time.
They
But
must have a reinforcement or something. I
But you
should
can-
ask my relatives
they-
with Deuce Construction
More
about that.
more security.
There hasn't been a whole lot of away goalposts taken down by the team who won.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Lots of orange on the Wildcats field.
The only time a team has ever beaten every other team in the conference.
Yeah, that's
the only
right.
time.
That's right.
Because you generally don't play them all.
No, you never did
Yeah.
until Iowa and Ohio State tied, and Iowa got to go to the Rose Bowl because Ohio State had been the
Been
last.
there, yeah.
And so Wayne Duke changed it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was a Buckeye, commissioner of the Big Ten. We're going to play everybody, and they did. And the next year, Ohio State and Iowa had to play. Oh, Iowa beat them.
Wow.
And then the next year, Illinois beat them. And then he says, "We're not doing this anymore."
Okay. I'm taking
This is
my
ridiculous.
Taking
We don't need to do this.
ball
That's
and going home. I'm taking my ball. Going
That's
home.
a quasi-true story. You can have to fact check me on that. I'm
All right.
pretty sure that's
We will meet you tomorrow. It's already
right.
the end of the week. I can't believe it. All our guests appear on the Tapman's Joint phone line.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you, Diane Ducey. Johnny, thank you.
All right.
As
Thank
always,
you.
appreciate
Always
it.
fun.
Brother Johnny and Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie Jay. We'll be back tomorrow morning, God willing, between 7 and 9. The boys this afternoon between 3 and 5, and then the 3 o'clock hour and the 5 o'clock hour. Thank you for listening. Have a great Thursday.
From Hall of Fame artists to rising stars, the Illinois Lottery Grandstand stage will be rocking at this year's Illinois State Fair. Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, the Doobie Brothers, on Saturday night, August 12th. 7-time Grammy Award winner Alanis Morissette with special guest Tennille Towns on Sunday night, August 13th. Illinois natives REO Speedwagon returns to the State Fair with special guest Edwin McCain on Tuesday night, August 15th. Hard Rock and Alter Bridge with special guest Mammoth WVH on Wednesday night, August 16th. And rounding out the rock will be Illinois-rooted rocker Chevelle on Friday night, August 18th, with special guests to be announced. Tickets on sale now 24/7 at Ticketmaster.com or on the Ticketmaster app or at the Grandstand ticket office during regular business hours. Don't miss Rock and Roll's Elite at the 2023 Illinois State Fair, August 10th through the 20th.
Great to talk with Fayon about driving and delivering for Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana Bottling.
Come home every day. It pays very, very well, especially for a truck driver. They're very understanding. It's just a great company all around. They're always eager to help. And you off on the weekends. The company in general is just a great company. Very family-oriented. Comes in, check on you, see if you like it. Always asking questions, trying to see if you need any help. Pretty dope.
Sound appealing? Join the Pepsi team. Equal opportunity employer. Visit PepsiColaCU.com.
It's Emily Atkins. She owns something called Happy Healing. Tell me about what you have planned coming up.
September 9th, we have our spiritual spa day. We have 3 wellness practitioners coming. We have Brenda, who does sound bowl healings with crystal bowls, Drea, who does facials, and we have Emily, who does massages. So we'll be selling tickets, and so you'll have a half hour of each, and then I'll be there and we can make candles too. You can go to the website, happyhealing.us.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design, and right now we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you.
You can't touch this.
No, not that kind of wrapper.
Can't touch this.
Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. aftershockdd.com.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, bringing us our Stevie Jay Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
We just celebrate police because they ought to be celebrated, folks. Difference between anarchy and peace. We have Officer Chloe Folks. She is our Law Enforcement Official of the Month. She's at the Urbana Police Department. How do you stay positive when you see the bad guys all the time?
My coworkers, the family, the camaraderie we have, we're all there for each other. Our goal is to make sure everybody gets home safely at the end of the night or the day. It's really just the family atmosphere that keeps me going.
So if you see something not so good, you're able to say, shut it off?
Yeah, you got to have some kind of emotional detachment and separate work from home. It's hard sometimes. We have through EAP and different work things that we can have help us kind of through that. But like I said, it's really my coworkers that get me through it. And, we maintain a positive attitude just so we can help each other get home at the end of the day. And sometimes we face hard things, but we get through it.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, delivering within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana, supporting our Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
Illini pizza fans at Jets Pizza, they know how to build the perfect pizza. Detroit style is one of them. Fresh made dough pressed into steel pans inspired by the Motor City. Topped with premium mozzarella, Mama Jet's secret sauce, fresh toppings, then baked to the thickest, crispiest, cheesy crunch. Jets is Detroit style pizza. Now build your perfect 3-topping large pizza for just $16.99. You pick your favorite 3 toppings and build the perfect Jets Pizza. A large 3-topping pizza, just $16.99. Online code TOP3. Jets Pizza. Better because it has to be.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation. Contact us at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.